A trend alert story. Guess what people are doing? They're doing a lot to turn back the hands of time. How? Dimpleplasty. That's right. Surgically created dimples. I even had to ask Drew about this one. Yep. AJ is someone who wanted dimples, so she underwent one of these dimpleplasty procedures, and she's joining us now all the way from the UK via Skype. AJ, I have to ask, why dimple surgery? Of all the things out there in terms of anti-aging, why dimple surgery?
Okay, so I've really always liked dimples. I find them a really endearing character on somebody's face. And it also helps to soften the face and really accentuate the smile. I've got high cheekbones, so I've got quite what I would deem as quite a harsh face, and sometimes I can look quite angry and miserable when I'm not. And I think dimples, when you smile, they just accentuate that and make your face look softer and friendlier. Well,
AJ, obviously you're happy with your surgery, and to each his own. What I want to do is see that dimple when you're not smiling, because that's the difference. When we're born with a dimple, it occurs when you smile. When you create a dimple surgically, it's there all the time. So can you turn to the side and let us see what that looks when you're not smiling?
So she's
okay, so
not smiling,
so it's pretty subtle.
Yeah. But I think it's interesting because dimples are genetic. They're inherited in families, and they're actually due to the length of the muscle.
Right.
And so this is kind of a way to go inside the mouth and just punch out a little bit of the tissue and the muscle and suture it back together. So I guess it is a new trend under local anesthetic.
Well, I mean, here's the post-procedure picture that I saw that I said, no, not for me.
Well, that looks like a belly button on your face, but the good news is
it does relax.
The good news that softened significantly. That stitch pulling it in, you overcorrected, it gave a little bit. I'm surprised how much bruising you got from a relatively minor procedure, but if you're happy, then it's a successful operation.
Yeah, I do bruise quite easily, so I think anybody else probably wouldn't have to that extreme. I'm a typical English peach.
Well, well, AJ, we are certainly happy that you're happy. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How much do these procedures cost?
So she paid £1,300 for both sides, which is a fair amount of money for a short procedure that's done under local anesthetic.
So this is something you do in the office.
Yeah, $2,000.
Under local.
The doc is doing it inside the mouth, basically pulling the skin with the
sizing some tissue.
They take a little, almost like a cookie cutter called a punch biopsy to just take out a little piece and then suture it back together.
Is there anything that can't be done cosmetically now? I can't wait to see what we're going to be talking about next year.
How would I look with those?
I saw the first picture, and you have some dimples.
I think they're saying part of the reason some people want it is because if you have a very round face, and she alluded to this with the cheekbones, it does create more definition. It makes a little narrower lower face. So, but like you said, to each his own.
To each their own.
So many tools now.
Just make sure you go to someone who knows what they're doing if you choose that.